Congratulations, Judd. Or should I say captain?
Oh boy, look, I'm gonna have to get used to hearing that word.
I loved. I'm not gonna lie. It's sweet when they say captain. I like it. I don't know if I'm ever gonna hear that word again in response that I get to respond to. So it was great.
So that was actually the last film that we shot for the series. That was when we wrapped that scene. That was a wrap on the show, and everybody kind of knew that. And I think even probably Brad Beaker moved that scene to that day because it was a nice note to end on, where we had everybody there, taking care of each other, and it was it was an emotional day. Everybody was kind of feeling it.
No, I knew. I demanded to know. Yeah, so I knew that she was going to make it, and they were very clear that Tommy was going to make it, but that they were going to take it all the way up to the edge. So, and I knew what that would entail, but I wasn't necessarily thrilled with. It's not fun to play sick for that long. And the crew, the crew's like, that was great, yay. It's just such a downer. So, you do your best to, bring some gallows humor into it, but it's exhausting. And so by the time we got to the last Zoom call with the doctor, where she's looking more like herself, and Judd comes in, and it's all good news. It was just like, finally I get to have a good day at work. No tears.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about filming those, except that Gina and I were kind of commenting, like you said, like, man, we haven't seen much of each other this year. But that was another kind of like they did with Owen. That was just a really good relationship that they built out over all those years, and so it was nice to see them honor that in some way, like just at the very end to kind of make contact there. But yeah, I didn't see much of her this year. It was just cool to do a real platonic friendship like that. Like I haven't really ever acted one of those, where it was, she came in second season, but we were saying this is Judd's best friend from back in the day. And then, I think when they did that kind of Grace and Judd origin episode in season 2, she was kind of like, they were already best friends, and she was kind of like a wingman and all this. So, then you graft that actress and that character into this rest of the story. And I think kind of from the beginning, it felt like we really were old friends. We just hadn't seen her character yet. And, obviously it's easy working with Gina. She's so much fun. She's so good. And she's somebody I admire a lot. So hopefully some of that came through too.
Like I said, it was very lonely. It was very lonely shooting these last few episodes. I missed him, missed working with him. He's such a powerhouse. And he does incredible work. Judd is going through such a journey, such a meaningful journey, and what a treat. I mean, look, we put our viewers to the grinder this season for sure. There were a lot of our characters that were in peril in one way or another, and really going through it. So just kudos to the cast, my incredible colleagues. There was no way that the writers could have written what they wrote unless they knew that they had the cast to pull it off. And every last one of the cast and the crew did exactly that, and surpassed everybody's expectations.
Well, it was, I think I found out at some point during the season, like a few episodes before we shot that. And it was kind of bittersweet because I knew that wouldn't be kind of like an era we got to go tell the story of. I knew it would be kind of how the story we've been telling ends, is with Judd becoming captain. But I thought it was good storytelling to be kind of the original member and to have made this like new family and these new bonds. But at the end of the day, sort of being in place to lead on as Owen goes off to, frankly, bigger and better things.
Yes, absolutely. Loved it. It's always a party.
What was the last scene that you filmed?
That was the last scene I filmed.
What was the mood like on set? How was that day?
Well, we knew it was coming. It wasn't one of those, you go away on hiatus and then you're alone in your house and you get a call. We all knew going into this season that it was going to be our last season. So we really did our best to cherish everything that we got to experience together and everything that we got to do together. And when you hear the AD say that's an episode wrap and a series wrap on Gina Torres, and it was just, they just go through it one by one as they finished our coverage, and it was bittersweet, but at the same time we felt incredibly triumphant because of what we were able to do.
Yeah, it was great. It was I'm trying to think. It was such a hectic part of our schedule, and we were shooting 3 or 4 episodes at a time. But I remember thinking like, I hadn't seen the kid who plays Charlie. I hadn't seen her since like maybe episode 1 or 2. Like it had been a really long time. Maybe there was like a FaceTime call in there somewhere, but I was like, damn, it's only been a few months and she's already bigger, older. And I just remember having kind of a warm and fuzzy feeling in my heart that it was a nice throwback to see all those guys that we shot the pilot with that have been up there on the wall for so long. And it was a nice way to say goodbye to the part, just to say like, all right, this chapter of this guy's done. It's a weird thing, and I experienced this on the only other series I did before was this HBO show called True Blood that I did years and years ago. And on the last day of shooting, I had this really strange emotional reaction, which was like, I didn't anticipate, which was, it's the last time I'll ever be in touch with that character again. Like, it's not someone else. It's just parts of yourself, right? It's just you behaving a certain way. But there's something like a relationship there. You know what I mean? And I kind of had a little warm and fuzzy moment with Judd. Like, this is cool. This guy got to be captain before we said goodbye. I think that last hurdle was kind of overcoming the thing that had plagued him his whole life with the self-destructive kind of doubt in himself and then something greater than himself. And once that got squared away, I think Judd demonstrated all throughout he'd be a good captain, just kind of had some internal hurdles to overcome. And we cleaned all that up in episode 10, and I think he's ready to lead.
Oh, nothing I can share with the public. No, that's all mine.
I know I told you this last time, just that there was lots of laughter and people were very emotional. We were all kind of digging into the crate of stories from across the years and just really appreciating each other. I think we did a good job of everybody saying what they meant. Like, nobody was being coy or cool about it all.
I mean, really, truly an honor on so many different levels. It was an honor to be able to play a first responder with a level of respect and dignity, um, that we got to play, you know, first responders with. They are not just superheroes that show up on your worst day. They are also people that have an incredible, I mean, really, truly a heroic um, ability to compartmentalize what is going on with them and making you their focus. You know, and as somebody who has just lived through this last few weeks here in Los Angeles, you know, even more and more and more kudos and love and admiration and awe that I give to the first responders. Um, as a woman and a woman of color, I am also just so happy to have been able to join a cast that is reflective of our country, the diversity that is our country, um, and what we all have to bring to it, what we all, you know, can bring to it, to the table, to enrich and improve and better the lives. And we did that in such a way that um, we were just human. We were just perfectly human, and everything that that means. Flawed and funny and supportive and scared and vulnerable, and that's who we are as a people. And to be able to just sort of get a snippet of that, you know, in 45 minutes, I think is incredible. And I hope and I pray that that we get to put more stuff like that in front of our viewers. And finally, as an actress, wow, what a ride. What a ride. I got to use pretty much all the crayons in my box, in my actor box. And that's rare. That's really rare that that someone gets to say that. Yeah, Tommy was just so fully drawn, and that's been incredible.
I think the guy grew up, like like in some ways was quintessentially and prototypically like a man that could be counted on, you know, right from the beginning. And in some ways was still immature and selfish and self-destructive. And over the course of the series, you know, the circumstances that Judd encountered gave him the opportunity to either double down on the immaturity or start to grow up. And the big change, I would say, that happened over the course of the series, like characters don't always get to change, especially in television, is kind of calmed down and grew up and matured a little bit. He was pretty hot-headed early on.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that. I don't even think about that. I mean, really, other than, you know, not being able to have more scenes with Natasha. You know, there was a moment, Brianna and I were on set, and we literally pitched to ourselves just the all-girl episode, like a girls' night that just goes horribly, horribly wrong. But between all of us, we have the tools to, you know, to make it right. That never happened, but we'll see.
I wish we had done more stuff on horseback. That was such a cool, you know, we sort of hint that that's kind of what Judd's upbringing was lots of time spent with that part of his family out on the ranch and everything. And anytime we did get to do it, I really enjoyed it. And they had a great horse team on that show and great trainers. Um, then I wish that we had gotten to do a little more of that. I wish. I wish we had shot more scenes of just like the guys hanging out outside of work. Like the couple times like Owen and Judd would go grab a beer or something like that. Um, it was just so fun. It was so kind of fun to see behind what these people are like when they're not at work. That I think there was some more fun to be had, kind of in that direction.